is the full circle. Within her lies the power to create, nurture, and transform the world. And this is only possible when the woman is educated, confident, and compassionate. On behalf of MM Public School, I consider it as an honor to be the part of this unique platform of TEDx MM Public School Women, which provides a voice to all the talented women who have gone beyond lengths to achieve their dreams. I would request our ever Principal Madam to please brief us about today's event and welcome our guests.
Meghan Markle says, women don't need to find their voice. They need to feel empowered to use it, and people need to be encouraged to listen. I feel honored that we have with us today the great women speakers on this platform of TEDx MM Public School Women to share their stories of accomplishments, who have not only contributed to the GDP of the nation, but have got recognition globally. They have done marvelous jobs for the welfare of the society. As school is the ideal place where children acquire skills and knowledge to lead a successful life, we venture such events to experience lifelong learning. Today's talks will definitely be a great source of inspiration for our students, and they will learn how to convey their ideas publicly or become great entrepreneurs, educationists, and leaders. Nothing is claimed to come for free. For some, it costs money. For others, it takes time and effort. But the most crucial quality is self-assurance. The speakers of today overcame many obstacles to get to this point in their careers. I welcome all the distinguished dignitaries to share their experience with us.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Beginning with the first speaker, Mrs. Rajni Gandhi, co-founder and Secretary General, Tracks S Society, Director, Indian Alliance of NGOs for Road Safety, Director, HECSS Safety and Research Private Limited, as well as the advisor, Save the Nation Ethiopia. She, as a facilitator, has been engaged in many capacity building programs for different stakeholders on road safety. I request Ms. Rajni to share her experience with us.
Namaskar, I am Rajni Gandhi, founder and General Secretary of Tracks S Society, a dedicated road safety organization which has been working on road safety and advocating the different aspects related to road safety in India. Why road safety is important and why I have been working in this field and why my organization has come into this area. This is unrecognized. It was unrecognized issue. And this is now recognized? Yes, this is now recognized. People are talking about road safety. People discuss the issues related to road safety in India now. Before, if I talk about some decades, so road safety was not such a priority. But today, people have started in India taking road safety a serious concern. Why it's a serious concern? Why we are talking about road safety? Yes, if we talk about the seriousness, so every day, every newspaper almost, every news channel show us some very difficult scenes which are really, really sad to see. And these are related to road crashes. Every day we are losing our dear ones on these roads. And it is must for us, it is really needful for all of us to take road safety a serious concern. And that has put me and my organization to work for the community, to let them aware that why road safety is such an important issue. We just do small mistakes if we go through the data from Ministry of Road Transport at highways or NCRB data. So it's very clear that how many type of accidents and which type of accidents are happening on Indian roads, and what type of measurements, the small measurements rather can help us and can save us from these road crashes. TRACS has been advocating for all the 5 pillars in case of road safety, and I'm glad that I have got an opportunity to work with such an organization which is full of passion towards this cause. We have not only reached to authorities, rather we usually discuss with them that what are the main areas where we have to work in respective cities. What are the causes where people are dying? They are not taking road safety on a serious note. Children, when we talk about a child and when we talk about a road, means we have to consider a road a place where every child feels comfortable and safe. That is why TRACS has been talking and walking towards safety of children always in maximum interventions by this organization. Safe school zone, promoting safe limits, speed limits in respective areas has remained a very important aspect for us to work on road safety. Safe school zone means we talk about the behavioral aspect, that yes, we should show our right ways to walk on roads. We should use zebra crossing. We should use the right path, the footpaths, etc. But when these things are not available, then what? We need to work upon those points also. We need to work upon safe school zones, areas, that are they safe for our children or not. When a child is feeling safe on roads, means a road is very much safe for all the ages. That is somewhere we need to understand, and we have to construct, we have to make our infrastructure in such a way that everyone comfortably, very safely using the roads. If we talk about infrastructure's other aspects, so TRACS has also taken initiatives where the fatalities were high on intersections. I will say few names of the intersections like Hero Honda in Gurugram intersection, then Pali, that is Surajkund Pali Y Junction in Faridabad, and well gone trial of Rajiv Chowk, which is again in Gurugram. Then another area near the Ajmer gate entry, and Shatabdi Chowk in Nagpur. Such trials are going on, and some of the interventions are very much done and giving us very good results. This is what we need to do. We talk about, yes, we should have a safe vehicle, we should have good vehicle. Along with that, we should have safer roads also. Safer road is one of the important pillar of road safety. And if we do not have safe infrastructure, then we cannot expect safe roads and road safety. Along with that, we have maximum population of two-wheeler riders in our country. Approx 70% population of vehicles are of two-wheelers. It means they are the main stakeholders in case of road safety. And we are talking about their safety. As cars comes along with a seat belt, there is another safety gadget for these two-wheeler riders, that is helmet. TRACS has been advocating for safe and standardized helmets for more than 6 years, and we have got good success points, we can say, and we have reached to different state governments for the implementation of Rule 138F, which says that one helmet or two helmet as per the state guidelines must be given with a new two-wheeler, so that an ISI standardized helmet will reach to the new rider, and along with that, full ban of non-standardized and fake helmet manufacturing. Many state governments have already issued the notifications in their respective states, and this is going in a very good way. We expect that if helmet law gets implemented across the country, so we can save more than 35% lives on Indian roads. 151,000 lives we have lost last year, and this is a big concern for us. And if we talk about 35% deaths of two-wheeler riders without helmet, it matters a lot. We should think about our responsibility as a stakeholder and as a road user, that I should not wear helmet just for the sake of saving some penalties of amount. Rather, it's a safety gadget, and helmet, we talk always helmet as a life saver. Along with that, we have also been reaching to different commercial drivers. They are one of the important pillar. The commercial drivers have played a great role during the COVID time also. We have got food, we have got every important thing at our home just because of those commercial drivers who were tirelessly working day and night during that time also. And we really respect them. We have tried to reach maximum of them. Even this year also, we have got an opportunity that we have reached to them, and we have been able to provide some health checkups to them free of cost. And also, we are reaching to them for their training and some interaction point of view also, so that they feel that somebody should be there who is listening them. And we are very glad the ideas they are giving for road safety, their expertise while driving on road should be listened and should be taken in notes. They can also given us a very, very great inputs. Along with that, we have also reached to different stakeholders through webinars, through direct meetings also, and we have discussed a lot about road safety and whatever is possible in their cities that should be done. We have conducted different webinars with different stakeholders, and we have also shared the international and national practices with maximum of them. This is a time we should consider that how we can demand for road safety. Once the people of the country are demanding for something, so it has become an important aspect of life. And I am happy to see that the youngsters who are coming to us for the internships, for the trainings, or for the projects also, they are becoming the ambassadors. The youngsters are demanding for road safety. And once the youth becomes the solution maker of any problem, it becomes a demand. And the government also gets support. Yes, we should think about something for this, so that our youngsters, our kids, our senior citizen, and everyone of all ages should be safe on roads. Tracks has differently done different activities and have reached to different schools, institutes in different cities of our own country. And we are very happy that we have number of ambassadors who have been not only attached with tracks, rather they have become the solution makers. We have shifted our knowledge into them. They have done the audit, they have done the programs, different programs in different cities, at different crossings sometime, reaching to different schools, and they have become the voice for road safety. Decade of Action 21 to 2030 is going on, and we have a target that we will together reduce the deaths and the fatality rate by 50% by 2030. And that is only possible when we all of us, each and every Indian, along with all the stakeholders, come together and make our roads more and more safer for all. Thank you. And I again would like to congratulate MM Public School, especially the principal ma'am, for their efforts for road safety, and the way they have become a role model school for other schools as well in case of road safety. My all best wishes again. Thank you so much, Rajni Gandhi.
Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and experience with us, and our students take it as a grave concern. Be the voice to others in spreading the awareness regarding safety on roads, and together we can reduce the fatality rate in our nation. Now, I would like to introduce our youngest speaker of today's TEDx Women, Ms. Tanya Narang, grade 12th economics student. She decided to get involved by interning with a non-profit and setting up Full Stop, a social impact initiative that organizes menstrual health awareness and product giveaway events for the underprivileged menstruators in India. She is also an ambassador in the prestigious global The PAD project founded by Oscar winner Melissa Burton that drive menstrual equity via various initiatives. Over to you, Tanya.
I'm Tanya Narang, and today I'm going to start by asking a question. Can a nation's mighty economy be boosted by a small green menstrual product? Before I begin, I would like to thank Ms. Ruma Pathak, Principal Ma'am at MM Public School, Delhi, for the opportunity to speak at this TEDx Women event. Thank you so much, Ruma Ma'am. So, what is menstruation? And no, I'm not talking about mensuration, which is to do with geometry and is about measuring lengths, areas, and volumes. No, I'm talking about periods, also known as menstruation, which is the normal bleeding that occurs as part of a woman's monthly cycle. Every month, the body prepares for a pregnancy. If no pregnancy occurs, the uterus sheds its lining, which comes as the menstrual blood. Most of you must be thinking, yikes, what an icky topic. Whereas, matter of the fact, every month, 1.8 billion people across the world menstruate, as per UNICEF, and India alone has nearly 400 million menstruators. Menstruators is a much more inclusive term. For managing their periods, menstruators need the 6 A's support: awareness about menstrual health management, access to quality period products, availability of adequate wash facilities and privacy, affordable products and pain medication and healthcare, appropriately wrapped and hygienically disposed, appreciative environment where they aren't stigmatized. Starting at an average age of 13 years, menstruation not only starts a new journey in a menstruator's life, but also brings in a new set of challenges and vulnerabilities. Okay, so what challenges are we talking about? Well, as per the World Bank, about 500 million menstruators worldwide don't have access to period products and adequate facilities for menstrual hygiene management. That's 28% of the total menstruating population. Not being able to afford menstrual hygiene products and managing menstrual health leads to period poverty situations. It creates challenges and struggles many young women and girls face, especially from lower socioeconomic income groups. Why are some people not able to afford period products? Let's try to understand the cost of maintaining a period. Over their lifetime, menstruators can use between 6,600 to 15,500 sanitary pads, depending upon their incomes, place of living, and awareness. India's national minimum daily wage varies between Rs 225 to 500, depending upon different states. With an average monthly spend on menstrual products of Rs 170 in India, the cost of menstrual products can vary between 34% to even 75% of their daily earnings. Now that's quite high, especially when one must choose between buying food for the family or buying a pad. Many countries still have taxes on period products, called the tampon tax. However, a few progressive countries like Kenya, India, Canada, Colombia, and a few states in the US have actually either reduced or removed these taxes, and Scotland has just made them free for all menstruators. Similar to the Big Mac Index that compares the price of a burger in any two countries and arrives at an exchange rate, Ruby Cub developed a menstrual health cost index so women can compare if their periods were cheaper to maintain if they lived in another country. The index calculates the yearly supply of pads as a percentage of their GDP per capita. In Switzerland, the annual supply of pads is approximately 0.04% of the Swiss GDP per capita, whereas in Kenya it's 1.1% and in Uganda it's 3.1%. In India, it's about 1.2%. The study shows that in low and middle income countries, period products are extremely expensive compared to the GDP per capita, and concluded that no matter which country you live in, periods are expensive. So, how does period poverty impact menstruators? I experienced period poverty at close quarters when I discovered that our housekeeper's daughter couldn't go to a school once she started menstruating, as the sanitary pads were expensive and the home alternative she used wasn't good enough for the full duration of school. While my family supported her with funding so her daughter wouldn't miss school due to periods, I wanted to find out more about how I could contribute. I first worked with a non-profit to understand menstrual health management and later decided to kickstart Full Stop, my social initiative to spread awareness and organize menstrual product distribution camps for the underprivileged. Nielsen, a research firm, estimates that 70% of women in India cannot afford sanitary products. 300 million use unhygienic alternatives like newspapers, dry leaves, and cotton rags. Earlier in the year, I researched menstruators across India, and findings from my menstrual health research published show that access is a luxury in schools and at workplaces, as 71.4% didn't have access to period products when outside homes, and 1 in 5 girls drop out from schools when they start menstruating, and 71% of menstruators have missed schools and work days due to periods. The findings are similar to research conducted earlier by Dasra. Lack of access to menstrual products leads to girls either dropping out of school or missing school, and even young women missing their workplaces. According to World Bank report, women with primary education only earn 14 to 19% more than those with no education at all. Similarly, women with secondary education can make almost 2 times higher, and women with tertiary education almost 3 times versus those with no education at all. Are there any economic implications of period poverty? There are broadly 3 types of economic losses that nations suffer due to period poverty. First, loss in future higher incomes as girls drop out of secondary schools as soon as they hit puberty. Second, loss in future incomes as girls miss schools and hence are unable to transition from secondary to tertiary education. Third, loss in income due to women not being able to go to workplaces, menstrual inequity. My research and analysis shows that on an annual basis, the 3 losses add up to 86.7 billion and is equivalent to 2.7% of India's annual GDP. So, India stands to boost its GDP by 2.7% if we can simply reduce or remove period poverty. And over a 37 years menstrual lifetime, this has the potential of adding $3.2 trillion in GDP gains, which is similar to India's current GDP. Now, an obvious question. If so much gains are at stake, why aren't governments offering cheaper menstrual products? Most big companies sell single-use or disposable menstrual hygiene products like sanitary pads, tampons, which require menstruators to buy them every month. However, not everyone can afford them. If India offers free menstrual products to all 400 million of their menstruators, it will cost about $11 billion, quite a huge investment. Globally, if governments across the rest of the world offer free pads for their 1.4 billion menstruators, it will cost about $134 billion. That's huge, and governments may not be able to afford it either. So, solving for period poverty requires shifting to a new age product known as reusable products or green menstrual products. They consist of menstrual cups, reusable sanitary pads, or even period underwears. It's like shifting from fossil fuel cars to clean electric cars. A menstrual cup is made of medical grade silicone material and can be reused, washed, and sterilized multiple times for up to 5 to 10 years, and that's what makes it affordable for managing periods. Reusable menstrual cups and pads only cost about 9 to 19% versus traditional disposable sanitary pads during their lifetime. Hence, reusable or green menstrual hygiene products can be effective in addressing period poverty. Hypothetically speaking, even if governments around the world are able to make traditional sanitary products cheaper or free, they will end up creating another problem. The plastic pollution from menstrual waste would be enormous. Okay, so what makes the traditional sanitary pads environment unfriendly? Let's understand what goes inside a sanitary pad. From a top dry layer to a super absorbent middle layer to a fluid leakage preventing bottom layer, all three layers are made up of synthetic, non-biodegradable plastic materials. And the three layers are stuck together as a single pad through an adhesive made from plastic material. The disposable sanitary pad or tampon is about 90% plastic. That's equivalent to about 3 to 4 plastic shopping bags in one single-use product. And a single disposable pad can take up to 500 to 800 years to break down into very small pieces of plastic known as microplastics. It may appear to disappear, however, nothing is changed except for the size of the plastic. So, how big is the plastic pollution caused by menstrual waste? According to the Menstrual Hygiene Alliance of India, menstruators in India used about 12.3 billion sanitary napkins annually, generating 113,000 tons of plastic waste that reaches India's landfills. That's nearly 3% of India's annual plastic waste. Globally, menstrual waste contributes about 1% annually of the total plastic waste and is estimated to increase to 1.2% by 2027 as per my research. According to UN Environment Programme, every minute, the equivalent of one garbage truck of plastic is being dumped into our oceans globally. Menstrual waste being 1% of global plastic waste, which means that 1 out of every 100 truckloads of plastic sent into our oceans is menstrual waste. No wonder, in Europe, sanitary pads are the 5th most common item found on beaches. Over the last 50 years, nearly 5 trillion pads have been sold. For a minute, just imagine, if you join them end to end, they would be 1.1 billion kilometers long and can cover the Earth's circumference 28,000 times, or cover the distance between the Earth and Sun nearly 8 times, or the Moon nearly 3,000 times. As the adoption of sanitary pads increases, the problem of menstrual plastic waste will magnify, as billions of them will end up in landfills or in the oceans. A single sanitary pad is used on average for 5 hours, and it takes about 500 to 800 years to decompose. That's nearly 5.7 million hours to break down into microplastics that go in to contaminate the soil, water, earth, and even our bodies. Is there a plan to drive adoption of green menstruation products? To drive green menstruation adoption, we need both speed and scale, a book by John Doerr that offers concrete steps to address climate change. The objective is to drive awareness for reusables, make them accessible, encourage change in habits, and change the material of the existing menstrual products in a time-bound and results-oriented fashion. The Green Menstruation Plan has 4 enablers. Number 1, get the governments to commit to ensure period products are made available to 100% of menstruators and remove taxes on period products. Number 2. Invite the corporates to fund menstrual product distribution effort as it drives inclusivity and diversity by getting more women workers and more girls into schools. Number 3. Drive research and development and innovation for making better reusable products and changing materials from plastic to biodegradable material in traditional sanitary pads. And lastly, number 4, scale up investment for driving awareness, availability, and accessibility and include corporate social responsibility. Now, this may sound extraordinary, but when people strive for success and results, the outcomes can be beyond expectations. My message is simple. Yes, a nation's mighty economy can be boosted by a small green period product. Menstrual health management is a strategic multiplier, and ensuring adoption of green menstrual products makes a compelling business case for all governments and offers predictable and measurable returns on investment and multiple tangible and intangible benefits to not only menstruators, but also to the society. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Tanya, for making us aware about such important issues of girls and hygiene problems. These reusable pads not only ensure good health, but also saves the earth from piling garbage. Wonderful idea given by you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Moving on to our next speaker, she is Ms. Rani Patel, a seasoned social worker and founder of Arohan NGO. With her commitment, she has been able to change the lives of over 5 lakh children through her educational programs. We are fortunate to listen to her.
Good afternoon. Before I speak anything, I must congratulate Ms. Roma Pathak and Mr. Somesh Pathak for their year after year innovative methods to build the children to grow with confidence and as a building block. Mother is the first teacher of a child. I believe that if women are empowered and aware of the facts, I think we can fix the half of the problems of the society. For the last 54 years, relentlessly inculcating good values, the journey of MM Public School cannot be ignored, and we must congratulate them for these kind of initiatives, especially to aware the women, the TED Women series to enlighten and widen the mental horizon to change the mindset of the society. For me, this is a wonderful topic, and let us discuss on this topic and aware women and prepare to change this world. Congratulations once again, Roma ji, for giving me this opportunity to speak and share with you all. Thank you.
एक मुट्ठी आसमां, सिर्फ एक मुट्ठी आसमां दे दो मुझे, बस एक मुट्ठी आसमां दे दो मुझे। उम्मीद के दरिया तो हैं मेरी भी निगाहों में, मंजिलों तक पहुंचने के साहिल दे दो मुझे, बस एक मुट्ठी आसमां दे दो मुझे।
आरोहण एक इंसिडेंट कोइंसिडेंस है जो एक 7 years ओल्ड चाइल्ड जिसका नाम विष्णु था, he caught stealing and our neighbors, they were trying to hit him. Then my husband suggested me not to like hit and to ask about why he is stealing. That was the turning point of my life, and that was the beginning of Arohan. We were very sensitized towards social issues, but we were never aware that just beside us in adjacent slums there is lot of negativity is generating. Those children, they used to move in groups. They were indulged in small criminal activities. We tried to teach them and enroll in the schools.
आसमां क्या है, आसमां क्या है मेरी परवाज के आगे। तुम एक बार किताबों के सुनहरे पंख दे दो मुझे, सिर्फ एक मुट्ठी आसमां दे दो मुझे।
आरोहण 2005 में रजिस्टर हुआ था, तो हम लोग इन बच्चों को मेरी को-फाउंडर के साथ में हमने कोशिश की कि इनको एनरोल कराने की। और उन दिनों राइट टू एजुकेशन एक्ट नहीं था, और जब हम लोग उनको एडमिशन कराने गए तो फिर वो पूरे के पूरे फोर्स के साथ में हमें हर तरह से डिमोरलाइज करते थे कि बच्चों को स्कूल में दाखिला नहीं मिले। और बच्चों को देखा कि हम सोचे कि बच्चों को हमने एडमिशन तो करा दिया है और बच्चे खूब अच्छी तरह से पढ़ करके बिल्कुल IAS और जो है डॉक्टर्स बन जाएंगे। बट सून वी रियलाइज दैट कि डिस्पाइट ऑफ पुटिंग ग्रेट एफर्ट, इट्स लाइक spreading a Mughlai cuisine in front of a sick person. Every individual child has a different problem. Even I believe कि हमारे जो स्कूल्स, गवर्नमेंट स्कूल का स्टेटस है जिसमें सब स्टैंडर्ड एजुकेशन बच्चों को मिलता है, तो उसमें बच्चे, पेरेंट्स सब कोई डिमोरलाइज रहते हैं। इवन दे डोंट वांट टू कंटिन्यू विद द स्कूल। दैट वाज द रीजन फॉर ड्रॉप आउट, ग्रेट नंबर ऑफ ड्रॉप आउट्स। और उसी प्रॉब्लम को हम लोगों ने एड्रेस करने की कोशिश की थ्रू रेमेडियल क्लासेस। वंस द चाइल्ड गेट्स एनरोल्ड इन द स्कूल, आफ्टर स्कूल आवर्स वी कॉल देम फॉर रेमेडियल क्लासेस। जब रेमेडियल क्लासेस के लिए हम उन्हें बुलाए तो फिर हमने ये देखा कि हमारे कई सारे बच्चे मतलब कई दिनों तक खाना तक नहीं खाते हैं। तो हमने फिर हमारा एक न्यूट्रिशन प्रोग्राम स्टार्ट किया उस प्रॉब्लम को एड्रेस करने के लिए। स्कूल में भर्ती करने के बावजूद बच्चे स्कूल नहीं जा रहे थे, तो हम लोगों ने जब फॉलोअप करने की कोशिश की तो हार्डली लाइक 10%, 15% चिल्ड्रन वर गोइंग टू स्कूल। वी रियलाइज्ड कि ये बच्चे स्कूल इसलिए नहीं जा रहे हैं बिकॉज दे हैड टू टेक केयर ऑफ देयर सिबलिंग्स। और हमने अपने नर्सरी को जो है उन जगदम्बा कैंप के बीच में हमने स्टैब्लिश किया और देखा कि वो काफ़ी रिलीफ बच्चों को मिला और बड़े बच्चे स्कूल जाना शुरू किए। हमने हर एक प्रोग्राम एक बच्चे का फुल ग्रोथ होने के लिए और टिल द चाइल्ड बिकम सेल्फ रिलायंट वी सपोर्ट देम।
चांद तारों की कहानी तो मैंने भी सुनी है बहुत, उनको छूने की जरा सी हिम्मत दे दो मुझे, बस एक मुट्ठी आसमां दे दो मुझे। जिंदगी ने बहुत कुछ दिया है तुमको। उस सुनहरी चादर का एक छोटा सा टुकड़ा दे दो मुझे, एक मुट्ठी, बस एक मुट्ठी आसमां दे दो मुझे।
इस फैमिली को हमने एस्टैब्लिश किया है, जिसमें आज ओवर 5000 चिल्ड्रन जो है हमारे साथ में एसोसिएटेड हैं, और हमारे आरोहण का हर एक बच्चा हीरे की तरह अलग अलग जो है फील्ड्स में वो अपना जो पहचान बना रहा है। लाइक यदि आप डांस की बात करते हैं तो बच्चे हमारे इंटरनेशनल हिप हॉप के सेमीफाइनल्स तक पहुंच चुके हैं। हमारे कई बच्चे जो है एजुकेशन में वो लोग 80-90% स्कोर कर रहे हैं। दैट इज़ अ कंटिन्यूस प्रोसेस। और हमारे 4 बच्चे जो IIT JEE क्रैक किए, और उन लोगों ने जो है 4 बच्चे इंजीनियरिंग भी पढ़ रहे हैं। मैं कहाँ से आप लोगों को बताऊं कि हाँ ये प्रॉब्लम इनके साथ है करके। एक बहुत बड़ी खाई है जहाँ की शायद हम पढ़े लिखे लोगों को समझ भी नहीं आती है कि इन लोगों को क्या इतनी छोटी सी बात समझ नहीं आती है। हाँ, इन्हें समझ नहीं आती है। जैसे मेरा धीरज IIT JEE क्रैक करके नवभारत टाइम्स में उसने मेक अ स्टार का के तहत उसको 8 लाख रुपीस नवभारत टाइम्स वाले दिए थे। अजय देवगन से लेकर टेरेंस लुइस, ये सारे उसको मतलब इस तरह से पूछते थे कि कहीं तुम सक्सेसफुल हो के हमें भूल नहीं जाओगे। वैसा बच्चा हमारा, उसको जॉन्डिस हुआ और वो एक क्वाक के पास गया, उसने शायद इंजेक्शन या कुछ लगा दिया होगा स्टेरॉइड का, और उसके सारे ऑर्गन्स फंक्शन करने बंद हो गए और जो है वो मर गया। धीरज के नाम का हमने एक स्कॉलरशिप भी निकाला है। तो इस तरह आरोहण का हर एक बच्चा जो है बहुत अच्छा कर रहा है। बट हमारे लिए ये चैलेंज है कि यदि बच्चे बहुत अच्छा करते भी हैं तो उनको कौन सपोर्ट करेगा। अभी सूरज फाइनल ईयर में पढ़ रहा है इंजीनियरिंग। हम बड़ी मुश्किल से मेंबर्स, हमारे जो वेल विशर्स हैं, वो लोग हमें उसके लिए स्पॉन्सर करते रहते हैं, लेकिन एक इंडिविजुअल हर बार भी स्पॉन्सर नहीं करते हैं। हर कोई जहां आता है आपको पैट कर तो जाता है कि हाँ आप बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, पर शायद हेल्प करने की जो पारी आती है तो हर कोई मतलब उन्हें समझ नहीं आती है, या नहीं तो फिर जो है ये कहाँ जा रहा है पैसे। तो इसलिए हमने आरोहण में एक सिस्टम रखा है कि कोई हेल्प करना चाहते हैं तो वो पहले आरोहण आए और वो डायरेक्टली जो है बच्चों को हेल्प करें, उनके साथ इंटरेक्ट करें। कुछ लिमिटेशंस हैं पर डेफिनेटली वो आकर के मिल सकते हैं, मिल करके उनको स्पॉन्सर कर सकते हैं, उनको खाना दे सकते हैं। जो एजुकेशन में बच्चे बहुत अच्छा कर रहे हैं तो उनमें से हमारा एक प्रकाश भी है जिसने अभी रिसेंटली ITI कंप्लीट करके IBM में उसकी जो है सिलेक्शन हुई थी। उसके बाद उसने जो है भेल को ज्वाइन किया। ही इज़ ऑन लाइक 34,000 रुपीज़ पर मंथ का जो है उसका पैकेज मिला, एंड दिस इज़ अ सक्सेस स्टोरी।
कितनी भी तेज हों वक्त की ये आंधियां, मैं पाऊंगा कामयाबी को अपनी मेहनत और लगन से। एक मुट्ठी, बस एक मुट्ठी आसमां दे दो मुझे।
आरोहण अच्छा है, गुड है गरीब बच्चों के लिए, क्योंकि काफ़ी सारे बच्चे आते हैं पढ़ने के लिए जिनको गाइडेंस नहीं मिल पाता, और NGO उनको सपोर्ट करता है, आगे पढ़ते हैं। उसमें से अच्छे बच्चे भी निकलते हैं कुछ। जब मैं पढ़ना नहीं जानता था, गया फर्स्ट टाइम, वहाँ पे देखा कि हाँ बच्चे कैसे पढ़ रहे हैं। उसके बाद में फिर मैंने भी धीरे धीरे स्टार्ट कर दिया कि हाँ नहीं, पढ़ाई बहुत ज़रूरी है। तो NGO ने मेरे को वहाँ से हेल्प दिया, जिससे मैं 7वीं 8वीं 9वीं 10वीं तक मैं रेगुलर वहाँ पढ़ा। अब मैं 12वीं कर रहा हूँ। हाँ, एग्ज़ाम तैयारी कर रहा हूँ, घर पे जाके रात में पढ़ता हूँ। इंजीनियरिंग करना है सर। आरोहण मेरे को सपोर्ट करता है कि कोई भी चीज़ की ज़रूरत हो तो हमें बोलना।
हौसले अब भी हैं बुलंद, आगे ही बढ़ना है मुझे। एक मुट्ठी, बस एक मुट्ठी आसमां दे दो मुझे।
अभी 2 बच्चे हमारे जो स्किल डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम में हम लोग वो ट्रेनिंग लिए हैं, उनका एनडीटीवी में सिलेक्शन हुआ है। और इस काम में हमारे साथ में हमारे बहुत सारे मेंबर्स हैं, वॉलंटियर्स हैं, जो डिफरेंट इंस्टीट्यूट से जो है अक्रॉस द कंट्री आते हैं और ये बच्चों को जो है पढ़ाते हैं।
पेशानी पे तेरे एक सितारे की तरह चमकूंगा मैं, बस एक मुट्ठी आसमां दे दो मुझे।
मैं एक कार्डियक सर्जन बनना चाहती हूँ। जब आरोहण से मैं जुड़ी तो मेरे इंटरेस्ट के साथ साथ मेरे मार्क्स भी इंक्रीज़ किए और मेरे 10th में 92% आए। या अगर आरोहण नहीं होता तो शायद अभी ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं होता और मैं ना ही इतना अच्छा पढ़ पाती, ना ऐसा सपना देख पाती, ना एम्स में पढ़ने के बारे में भी सोच पाती। पर अब मेरा मानना यह है कि अगर एक सीट भी है एम्स में तो वो मेरी है। मैं एम्स में ही पढ़ूंगी, मैं कार्डियक सर्जन बन सकती हूँ और बन के रहूँगी।
तो आप देख रहे होंगे कि आरोहण के बच्चों में वैल्यूज़ भी बहुत ज़्यादा हैं और ये मुझे बहुत ज़्यादा मतलब प्राउड फील कराती है।
छपरा जिला से आए, अपने बच्चे के दाखिले कराए, अच्छे पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं, 10वीं में नंबर अच्छे लाई है। आप लोग के दुआ से उसको डॉक्टर बनवा दीजिए। उसको ख्वाहिश यही है क्योंकि के हमनी के तो गरीब आमदी है, कहाँ बना पाएंगे सोचना। उसका पापा तो ठेला ठेली चलाते हैं, कहाँ कुछ कर पाएंगे वो।
आफ्टर 10 years जब आरोहण बहुत सारे सक्सेस स्टोरीज और बच्चे बहुत अच्छा पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं, वेरियस फील्ड्स में बच्चे बहुत अच्छा कर रहे हैं, तो मैं जो भी सुन रहे हैं उनसे ये अपील करूँगी कि इस साल हम लोग तकरीबन 500 बच्चों के हायर स्टडीज़ के लिए हम प्रमोट करना चाहते हैं। और जो स्किल डेवलपमेंट में भी हम लोग बच्चों को जो कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि उन्हें इक्वालिटी और बहुत अच्छे तरीके से उन्हें आगे और बच्चों को जो है स्किल डेवलपमेंट का एक ये ट्रेनिंग दिया जाए। 1000 बच्चे कम से कम स्किल डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम के थ्रू उनको हम एम्पावर कर पाएँ।
Good evening, sir. My name is Shagul. I study in 7th class and I am from Arohan. My question is that I want to know about your childhood. How you have become a big famous Amitabh Bachchan, a big B.
बिग बी? कौन कहता है कि हम बिग है? इधर आइए।
नाहिद आफरीन।
ये देखिए छोटे हो गए हम। कहाँ है बिग? ये जितने पत्रकार लोग हैं, एक उन्होंने एक बहुत ही खूबसूरत एक शब्द बना दिया है, अब उसको लेकर के हम बैठे हुए हैं यहाँ पर। बिग कोई नहीं होता है, सब अपना काम करना चाहिए, मेहनत करनी चाहिए। और देखिए, अगर आपने कोई एक लक्ष्य अपने दिमाग में बना रखा है कि हमें ये करना काम है, तो एक राह पकड़ के चलते जाइए, आप वहां पहुंच जाइएगा। बाबूजी हमारे बहुत प्रख्यात कवि हरिवंश राय बच्चन जी, उनकी एक बहुत ही प्रबल कविता है मधुशाला, उसकी एक पंक्ति में आपको बताता हूं कि मदिरालय जाने को घर से चलता है पीने वाला, किस पथ से जाऊं असमंजस में है वो भोला भाला। अलग अलग पथ बतलाते सब, अलग अलग पथ बतलाते सब, पर मैं ये बतलाता हूं कि राह पकड़ तू एक चला चल, पा जाएगा मधुशाला।
और यदि इस तरह का सपोर्ट मिले तो डेफिनेटली हम अगले 2 सालों में इस चीज़ को करके हमको बहुत मतलब जो है प्राउड फील होगा आप लोगों के हेल्प से।
एक मुट्ठी आसमां, सिर्फ एक मुट्ठी आसमां दे दो मुझे, बस एक मुट्ठी आसमां दे दो मुझे।
Thank you so much, madam. The words that you have shared with us today have left a deep impact on us. The work which you do for the welfare of the society is really commendable. Thank you for being with us. Moving on to our next speaker, we have with us Ms. Aarti Girdhar, founder and president of Unknown Global Foundation. She is a philanthropist, educationist with 2 decades of wide-ranging teaching career. She has done a specialization in the foundation of positive psychology from the University of Pennsylvania. So let us today learn from her.
Good morning, dear parents, teachers and students. This is Aarti Girdhar, founder and president of Unknown Global Foundation, an NGO working in development of life skills and mental health. Today, I am here to talk about my side of story of gratitude, courage, motivation and inspiration. Before I start, let me thank Ms. Roma Pathak, Principal, MM Public School, Vasudha Enclave, Pitampura, for giving me the opportunity to share my story. Firstly, I would like to ask, how often do you take life for granted? And secondly, why do we waste so much time on things that don't matter? Many a times there are life experiences which often leave us with acknowledgement for the precious God-given gift, life. As a result, we start considering every day meaningless and we do not feel like doing anything even if it makes us happy. For a moment, everything becomes uninterested and the world which was once colorful turns black and white. The way life appears to everyone depends upon their mindset and attitude towards life. Optimistic people complain less and try to find solution to find problem to every problem, whereas people with more pessimism tend to see the bad more than the good in every situation, which is not the right for long term. Having a positive attitude in life towards every situation is necessary in order to lead a healthy and happening life. After wasting time on trivial matters, we start realizing how precious life is and how quickly time passes like tree sprinkling past a driving car. We must learn to appreciate life and to develop an optimistic view because it helps us face our problems bravely in the future as well. We should always keep in mind that there is no point to waste time and being disappointed about things we can barely change. Do you think it's wise to spend more time being miserable about something when you can find happiness doing something else? Let me give you a little background about my journey. I was an average student at school who was just busy doing routine tasks and random activities with little focus. I was a bit shy and introvert by nature that always pulled me back. I always had stammering issues while speaking, which was another reason to take me backseat. I got married immediately after my graduation and I was fortunate to continue my studies after marriage and did my chemistry and then masters in psychology and BA. Soon after my education, I started teaching in school and worked as science teacher for middle school and senior classes for 18 years across 5 reputed schools. While teaching science, I got interested in solving the problems of children faced that went beyond the science subject and started engaging with them into developing the skills to handle real life situations. I find myself inclined towards solving the issues of students rather than the subject itself. because I feel that today's generation can fetch the information on their own, but what's going in their mind is actually a difficult task for them to understand. During my teaching career, I found one thing common in all the schools, and that was missing a structured learning program to develop life skills in children. I could feel that children need these much more than academics, and schools have still not started addressing this need. It becomes more important to address these skills in early impressionable age to have far-reaching impact. I took this as an opportunity and challenge and started working on it. There is always a role model who inspires you to do something unique. In my case, was the principal of my last school, who trusted my instinct and approach and always sent me to various conferences. These conferences gave me a platform that boosted my confidence and exposed me to the limitless world that I absolutely unaware of. I eventually quit my job in school with an aim to carry this initiative forward. As quoted by Steve Jobs, you cannot connect the dot looking forward, you can only connect them looking backward. So, you have to trust that the dot will somehow connect in your future. You have to believe in something, your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. This approach has never let me down, and it has made all the difference in my life. In my life, the dots coming in my way had a reason and motive, which could only be seen from where I see it today. The challenges faced by me as a school student, undergoing specialized curriculum in science as well as psychology, gave me two different perspectives. Then coupled with my work experience as a science teacher and seeing the same challenges faced by the student helped me in correlating the psychological aspect that led into creation of this framework of life skill education program. I firmly believe that one can inspire students through activities, storytelling, personal interaction, and problem solving that help them to relate these real world issues that I wanted them to understand. With this inspiration, I started Anon Global Foundation, an NGO that is working on building life skills and mental health. We started with couple of modules like stress management, anger management, and kept on adding over a period of time. That include finding happiness, value your blessings, anti-bullying, screen addiction, social etiquette, life skill management, motivation, body image and self-esteem, conflict management, and the much needed topic, teen relationship in today's challenging world, building resilience, influencing family values, and so on. These programs help me to build confidence, motivation, and gratitude in them that will make their life more meaningful. We started offering these programs to various schools at no cost basis, and happy to see the student gain from these learnings. We got a stupendous response within the first quarter and had to expand our team in no time. We were happy and surprised to see faculties with tons of experience joining us on honorary basis for this noble cause, and it helped us to grow pretty fast. Within the third quarter of operation, all of us got badly impacted by the COVID, which led to schools shutting down for one of the longest period. The movement and the interaction of students got restricted and adversely affected by their mental state. The need of such programs was much more during this time. We immediately moved to online platform and were more than welcomed by the school to extend these to not only students but their teachers and parents also. Worldwide, WCA also recognized the challenges of mental stress during the COVID time and initiated a worldwide program to spread the awareness in institutes. Anon was shortlisted by YWCA to carry forward this initiative in entire India, and we got phenomenal appreciation by their team on successful completion of this initiative in India. I would like to mention that apart from the student, it's important for teachers and parents to understand these life skills so as to create a congenial and harmonious environment for better growth of our children. We have created multiple platforms apart from regular online and offline courses module for dissemination of the information. We started offering internships on various themes and objectives that involve students in group to do desk research, survey, analysis, movie making, presenting them to the jury and larger audience. This helps them to understand the perspective of other team members and developing team skills. The student can pick up the program of their choice that are offered for 3 weeks, 3 months and 6 month duration. We started a non-talk series that offer a platform to podcast the ideas on certain specific issues that of immediate relevance and impacts a larger audience. Renowned speakers and champions in their respective domains from all across the world participate with us and share their learning and guiding skills. Our team of volunteers also consolidate all the work that happened during the month and present it in a monthly news bulletin. Dear audience, this is the 4th year of Anon Global Foundation, and we have trained more than 250,000 students, 8,500 plus teachers and 13,500 plus parents. The aim of our workshop and internship is to make a bigger and better family of people who want to help society from heart and have philanthropic attitude. All the people who join Anon are the ones who want to make their life meaningful, since they believe life is one-time opportunity. So use it wisely. Thank you.
Madam, the various important psychological issues that you have discussed today are really crucial, and students at this age are likely to get disappointed over petty problems. But you, as you say, that happiness in doing small things can change one's life. So I thank you for giving our students the reason to be happy. Now we have yet another influential speaker, Pooja Gulati, a business scalability coach and a soft skill trainer. She has worked with 50 plus corporate houses and 10 plus ministries. She has worked with multiple government projects. I welcome you, ma'am.
Self-confidence is your biggest accessory. Once you own it, life becomes unstoppable. But does our society gives us enough chances to develop the same? The girl you are seeing in front of you in a court is super confident was not the same 10 years back. She was bullied in her childhood. She had great body shaming issues and her dreams were shattered. She had no friends and was living in a cocoon where all her dreams and her personality, her self-image was an absolute zero. As soon as we reach to the age of 10, 11 and 12, our body starts getting some changes. And with those changes happening in my body, I started gaining some weight. When I started gaining weight, my height is pretty short. I'm 5'2", and at that point of time, I was quite shorter. And then people, the friends I was surrounding myself with in my school days, They started bullying me with names like an elephant, somebody who cannot do anything in her life, and used to absolutely pick me off from every conversation and from every friends group. I was always the first bencher, really dedicated towards my studies, but had zero friends and had dead self-confidence. Even though I used to get that urge from within that, yes, I know this, I can do this. But I didn't have that much of confidence to just go forward and just tell the world that yes, Pooja can do it. And moving forward, I did my 10th till from another school. For my 11th and 12th, I went to the different school. Till 10th standard, this prolonged. Till 10th standard, I was heavily given names by all the friends and all the classmates. And one fine day during the farewell of my 10th standard, my parents have been my biggest supporters. And one fine day, we got the news that it's our farewell. And when we went for our farewell, my parents were like, Pooja, you can win the title of Miss Farewell. I was like, yes, I can do it. And then what happened was my mom made a proper script. And since the very beginning, I have been a supporter of women empowerment, child development, and how women can actually bring about a change in her life. So when this was happening, my mom made a proper and a beautiful speech on women and a girl child. And on the day of the farewell, you are bound to show a talent of yours. I was not good at dancing, not good at singing. So moving forward, my mom made a beautiful speech for me on the preservation of the girl child. And on the day of the farewell, when I went on the stage to present that speech, I clearly remember that not even a single person from the audience was actually listening to me. And when I came down and when obviously the winners were announced and I was not the winner, I went to my teacher and I asked her, ma'am, what did I do wrong? Because I want to improve myself. And she just said, and I want to tell that to you in Hindi, कि तुमने क्या बोला कुछ समझ ही नहीं आया, you just wasted our time. And that is still imprinted in my consciousness and subconsciousness. We never think twice before speaking something. And please remember this, people. Whenever you say something, you're actually imprinting a remark on somebody's mind. So be very mindful that what you are speaking. If you cannot do good for somebody, just don't do bad for someone. And I believe that happened for a reason for me. Because from that day and still that day is a kind of a motivation for me that Pooja, you need to grow yourself. And then I went to my 11th and 12th standard. It was a different school, and trust me, people, it was so difficult for me to gel up with the new people. Again, the story continued, and it was like I was the first bencher. I studied a lot. I was quite interested in studies. I took commerce with the maths, and that was happening. I was not taking participation in any competitions, any co-curricular activities altogether, and approached the 12th standard. So in 12th standard, all of us go for some extra education to our tuition centers. So herein I was so into my cocoon that my parents also realized it, that when my father is a business owner, so he has his office like 10 kilometers away from our home, and my tuition was in the opposite direction, 8 kilometers. My father firstly used to drop me to school, then he used to pick me, then he used to drop me at home, and then he used to go again at his office. Then he used to come back again after 1 hour to pick me and to then drop me to my tuition. And this continued, and this cycle made my parents really, really, really tense that there is no time that Pooja will definitely go to college and definitely will see the world, and how she will be able to cope up with different people that are there. And then my parents took a very bold decision of making me join an NGO, wherein I used to go and teach the lesser privileged kids, and trust me, these kids own my life. The validation, the love I was looking forward from the exterior world, the friendship that I was looking forward, I got in those beautiful smiles. Most beautiful, scenario of my life. And carrying forward, I scored 96% in my 12th standard. And then moving forward, I went into Delhi University. Delhi University, a hub of creativity. Everybody is super powerful, super energetic, has dreams in their eyes, and are actually very, very, very enthusiastic. And as I mentioned that I have always been a supporter of women empowerment, it was quite obvious that as and when I entered the college, I went for my interview for the women development cell of my college. There are different societies that are there in the college, and I also appreciate all the students to join that. So when I went there, I was clearly rejected. And again, I asked the society member that, ma'am, why did you reject me? And she was like, even though you have that willingness to do something for the women, you don't have presentation skills, you don't know how to process your information so that you can convince somebody. And trust me, people, till that point of time, I was quite clear that I need to improve myself. And to be very honest, I was not very happy. But now when I look back, and then I realized God had a bigger plan for me. Now, then I took the first mover advantage in my life. Until that point of time, my perspective was, if I will not be able to speak, if my personality will not be great, I will not be able to get placed in a good company and maybe not be able to make my career out of it. So then I joined my first course as a certified public speaker. And the girl who was the most quietest, most shy in the class, after 3 months, she was the first rank holder, and that girl is standing in front of you. And after that, I was really interested to know more about the position of a soft skills trainer, because these were the people, those who were training me extensively. And as I mentioned that I used to teach the lesser privileged kids. So from there, I was able to get that feeling that maybe education is something, teaching is something that I really love. And here I also want to point out one thing, that as I always say these to my students also, that becoming a parent is easy, but parenting is difficult. Similarly, becoming a teacher is quite easy, but teaching should come from the heart, because teaching is not only that you go and teach a subject, it is a purpose. You're having those young minds, you have the power to change them. Teaching is a skill, people. So moving forward, I then did another course as a certified soft skills trainer, and that changed my life. And as I mentioned, I used to go to the rural areas. Meanwhile, I used to sense that women hygiene is a bigger problem in our rural areas. Like, a single woman is giving birth to 7 to 8 kids. She is not taking care of her menstrual health. They're getting ovarian cancer very early in their life, right? So I then started a project related to menstruation, and I was the initiator of it in Delhi NCR. I adopted, with my team, we adopted a particular village. We gave employment, education, and all the facilities to the women out there. And then beautiful moment came to my life, and that was when I was invited as a chief guest in that very school in which I was bullied. I was 19 years old then, people. And trust me, it clearly proved the proven of work hard in silence and let success make the noise. Trust me, it was beautiful. And then I became top 100 women faces of India 2019. I was featured with Dainik Jagran, Punjab Kesari. Even I was there on DD News. I was also featured with a lot of government and ministries. So that beautiful thing happened all together. And I used to get invited as a chief guest at a lot of other places also. Moving forward came the pandemic, and I was sitting idle, and then I started reading a book that was Ikigai, and that made me realize that, Pooja, what are you actually doing with the skill sets that you have? And then I decided to launch my own YouTube channel with zero direction, but with an intention to help somebody. I used to create content, and within 13 days, I cracked my first client. And that client is still my client. It has been more than 2.5 years now. And then what happened was, I launched my first course. A lot of people buy it. And then the second course I launched, nobody buy it. Again, it took me back into the pedestal that maybe my teaching style is something that people don't want to get education from me. But then I decided that, Pooja, let's launch a startup. I invested the entire savings of mine, took some money, borrowed some money, and invested over there. And within 2 months, my startup failed. Dreams shattered, money lost, having anxiety, was in the first stage of depression. And one more thing also happened. My previous Instagram account, which had more than 7,000 to 8,000 followers, also got hacked by somebody. Overnight, my dreams, everything shattered. My emotions were shattered. But again, only two people were standing very tall with me, and those were my parents. One entrepreneur mantra for every individual who is going to watch out here is never ever start your startup with your closest of friends, because you need to have a thin line of demarcation between your personal and your professional life. Maybe it can work for somebody or not. Take this as a small caution. Then, moving forward, till that time I was in the third year of my college, and then the last option was to take a campus placement to divert my mind. And then in January 2021, I was presented with the beautiful opportunity of India's biggest online public speaking championship. And out of 8,000 people, I won that title. And that gave me the real strength and real confidence that I was lacking. And that happened because of my failure of startup. And then I resigned from my job and I went to Goa for a 7 days residential business workshop. And I understood that I started my startup with a lot of dreams, but with zero education. So people, even though we have a lot of aspirations, we need to be well educated about the same, about what can happen and how we need to be well prepared for each and everything. That is absolutely going to come, right? One more thing that I want to tell all of you is business is nothing but people. Work for people. You earn money out of people. You get trust out of people. So be 100% dedicated to bringing about a change in the life of people, and that is called the real entrepreneurship. Then I came from there, from Goa, and the Pooja that came back was a different personality altogether. She was super confident, unstoppable. Within 6 months, I generated a revenue of 25 lakh rupees using just the power of social media by coaching people. And then I did some individual sessions in Delhi, also across the world. And I was super elated to see that even if I was creating content, I was unaware that so many people were actually loving me. When I launched my workshop, there were a lot of people, those who were coming across the world to just see me, to just meet me. So people, do your work. People will appreciate you. God is actually seeing you. Be 100% devoted towards whatever you want to do. And then I was helping a lot of people to scale their business and how they can take it to the next level. That's a different story altogether. But trust me, people, the journey has been filled with a lot of failures. And then I was felicitated by a lot of great platforms. So people, my message to all of you with this platform of TEDx, this MM Public School TEDxWomen is, we women are unstoppable. We just need that right light so that we can just become like a beautiful rainbow and we can spread our positivity. Even we don't know how capable we are, how extremely powerful we are, till the time we just don't go there and explore ourselves. So let go of what the society is going to tell you. Also, let me tell you one thing, people, that while I was in a journey to present myself and used to upload content on social media, my relatives didn't support me. Your society will support you when you're getting married, when you're getting pregnant, you're getting engaged, you're then in a relationship. They're going to support that a lot, but not when you're actually doing something in your life, right? So let go of all those people, shut yourself from the negativity and become unstoppable. So that's it from my side, people. I hope the story of mine actually gave you a quite of least that yes, if this girl of 23 years can do this, you can do it too, man. Life is a beautiful gift. Don't waste it. Use your potential and become like a free bird. Thank you.
It was really a great opportunity to listen about the experience of your life story. Many of our students have dreams to become successful entrepreneurs, and this speech will really give them a positive booster. Thank you so much. Now moving towards our last speaker of TEDx MM Public SchoolWomen, Miss Annie Chopra, who is third cultured entrepreneur, author and marketing consultant. She is also the founder and CEO of She the Queen, a digital media platform that aims at helping women reclaim their power. She has published 2 books, Saying for a Good Life and Planner, The Good Life Planner. She was born in Dubai and is consistently breaking boundaries and creating a stronger platform for women all over the world. Over to you, ma'am.
Gratitude to MM Public School and to Madam Principal, Ms. Ruman Pathak, for inviting me to be a speaker in their wonderful TEDxWomen event. Thank you. You know, when I was coming up with how exactly I wanted to start this talk, I remember sitting on my bed, looking at the wall in front of me and thinking, okay, what was the one defining moment that led me to believe that I need to be a confident communicator? And I sat there and I was like, dig deep, Annie. Childhood trauma, bullying experience, business experience. There's got to be something in there. 1 hour later, when I was scrolling through my Instagram reels, I realized that the answer was that there was no big moment. There just wasn't. See, the truth is, with the skills we end up developing, most of the time, it's little things in our life, little things in our personal stories that actually lead us to want to develop those skills, especially something like confidence, communication, or confident communication. It was little moments in my life that made me realize this throughout my life. Whether that be when I was a child and I realized that I'm going to be moving a lot across countries and I'm going to be changing schools. Yeah, I went through like 8 different schools in my life. Pros and cons, you know, but I realized that if I didn't learn how to confidently communicate with people, I would never have friends. Or whether it was that moment when I was sitting across from the person who leads the AIU in India, telling me that I can't get an equivalent certificate and thus can't study higher education in India, thinking to myself, if only I was not overcome by emotions right now, if only I could communicate confidently about what I'm thinking and feeling right now, maybe this conversation would go a different way. Or maybe it's that one time when I went to my first ever fashion show as a media business owner to document it, and the one contact I had there was busy, so I could not be introduced to anyone. And just within 30 minutes, the fashion show would be starting. So if I wanted behind the scenes, if I wanted anything, I needed to go and get it done right now. So I needed to confidently communicate with the models or the people working there to get things done. And that's the thing. If you look back, you will notice moments in your life where you realize that confidence and communication, or even any other skill, is essential to you. For confident communication, it might have even been something as simple as being a child, having a crush and realizing that that crush ended up with the most popular person in the class. Or being in office and seeing the radiant person who somehow manages to always talk about what they think in meetings, get the promotion that you so desperately desired and worked for. See, confidence and communication are both essential, and when put together, they're so effective in changing our entire life. Let's look at communication first. Now, communication is an essential skill, right? Research suggests that it's one of the top skills that all employers always need. It's always constantly linked to success in life too. Same with confidence. Now, confidence can be defined as the self-concept you have, as the self-esteem you have, right? And that self-esteem is linked to a happier life, better outcomes in your life, in your career, in your relationships. Confident communication as a whole, being a socially confident person, now that can transform your life. Imagine, better self-esteem leads to better happiness, happiness in all areas of your life. So what exactly is confident communication, right? What is it? It's just communicating in a confident manner, using the skills you develop in confidence, integrating them into communication, and having that confident aura about you when you communicate, so that you get more done, that you are more inspiring, that you are more influential. But how exactly do you get there? How do we become confident communicators? Especially since so many of us have immense childhood trauma, our parents neglecting us, making us feel like we're less, constantly competing with an elder sibling, feeling like we will never be enough. What about in school? Teachers thinking that our potential is just not worth it. And over time, as we grow up, we gather all this evidence that is against us, that we think, you know what, there's no point. I can never become this confidently communicative person. I can never do it. But I'm here to tell you that it's completely possible. Firstly, because of the simple basis that we have the power to control our mind. We might not have the power to control how someone else sees us. We might not have the power to control the past and change it. But we do have the power of controlling our mind. And with our mind and with the right tactics, we can achieve absolutely anything, even becoming a confident communicator. Now, how do you get there though? In my personal opinion, there are 3 stepping stones, 3 skills that you can develop that make you a confident communicator. The first skill that I believe is essential is unwavering belief, especially in yourself. Number 2 is a positive self-concept. Number 3 is a constant desire to learn. Now, how do you go about building belief though? So for starters, I would say that the one thing you need to learn in belief is that you need to work through your issues. I am a big believer in therapy. Last year, when I was going through mental health issues like we all did, the pandemic was hard on us, you guys. It's okay. I was going through depression all over again, and I got help. It made me learn about so many of the little things in my childhood that were influencing the person I am. See, the thing is, we first need to learn to understand ourselves, to even believe in ourselves. To believe in ourselves, we need to understand who we are. The only way we can do that is through journaling, through realizing who we are, through actually taking time to be with ourselves. So spend time with yourselves and understand yourself. But there is another concept that is essential. It's building evidence. Belief is so easy to children. I remember a few days back, not a few days back. I remember just a couple of years back when I was finally learning about the law of attraction. And one of the tasks was to think back about a moment when you were a child that you used the law of attraction. Now, back when I was 10 years old, I participated in this competition called the KS Ambassador. It was essential for me to win because it was my last year in that school and it was my second time participating in the contest, and I really, really wanted to win. I won, by the way, just saying, I won. How did I win though? Belief. I had an unwavering belief that I will win. You know how? Well, a few weeks before my competition, we went to a temple in Laos, where I was currently living. It's in Pak Se, and it's supposed to have a magical rock. They say if you pick up the rock and you wish upon it anything, you achieve it. Obviously, as a child, I picked up the rock, I wished to win, and, well, it's a magical rock. Of course I'm going to believe in it. I'm a child. Plus, I was a child who watched Winx Club and Witch growing up. Of course, I believed in the magic of a powerful rock. So I went on, I practiced, and somehow I just had the certainty that I was going to win. And so I won. When I grew up, I realized I just used the law of attraction. And obviously, the magical rock. How do you get that belief though? That belief is all within you. As children, we're born with belief. So I want you to look back and think about that one moment as a child, okay? When you achieved something you wanted or got something you wanted, whether it was a small gift, a lottery ticket, anything, simply because you had unwavering belief that you can. And remember that if you could tap into that belief when you were a young kid, you can tap into that belief now. Remember, it is so easy for us to just believe because it is what our brains are taught to do by us. I believe that it's easier to believe if you have evidence. Back yourself up with a lot of evidence in where belief has helped people. Read about people achieving their goals through belief. That belief, that certainty in themselves made them achieve their goals. And watch how your brain changes. See, there's a lot of videos about neuroplasticity on the internet, so I'm not going to get into it. Just know that our brain is like a freaking magnet. If it already has all these negative magnets taking it in from everywhere, then we're not using our brain. It's like the refrigerator, right? You put a bunch of the magnets you like in your house. Put magnets you like on your brain. Give it evidence. Give it those YouTube videos that talk about personal belief systems, etc. Fill your mind with evidence that belief is useful. And you will achieve that belief. Also remember that if you can believe that, you won't achieve it, if you can just think that, oh, I'm not meant for this, then you can easily believe that you can. Sometimes all you need to realize is that you are capable, even if the world has made you feel otherwise. Spend time with yourself. Understand that you are capable, and that belief system will build. And remember, it's not a one-time, one-moment kind of thing. It takes time. It takes effort. Work on it every day, and you will grow your belief system. Once you have your belief system set, it comes to the second concept, which is the power of self-concept. It comes to the second part, which is the power of self-concept. Positive self-concept. And what is self-concept? Self-concept is basically the story we tell ourselves about who we are. And having a positive self-concept is essential. How do we build a positive self-concept though? Well, the belief part will already help you because you're already backing up yourself with belief and, evidence on belief and why it's important and self-belief. You're already working on that. So it's already going to be, you're already 5 steps ahead, okay? But how do you enhance that? How can you better that? Well, there are a few techniques to enhance your self-concept. Now, self-concept is very important, by the way, because it is what leads to your self-esteem, and self-esteem is linked to a happier life, as we've mentioned before. And we want to be happier in life, right? Everyone wants to be happier in life. So we want to work on the self-concept. The one thing that I need you to understand is that self-concept can be heavily influenced by the people around you. So make sure that the people around you don't make you feel like you are less than. See, the people around you have a lot of benefits. They can actually improve you. Psychology tells us that we're most like the 5 people we spend our most time with. So be sure to utilize that time with the people that make you feel alive, joyful, like you are capable. Do this exercise the next time you're out with people or a group of friends that you typically hang out with. When you go back home, sit down, think about how your energy feels. Do you feel better? Do you feel better than when you had left? Do you feel motivated to go achieve your dreams? Your self-concept is influenced by people. If the people around you are making you feel less, then you need to change the people around you. You need to surround yourself with people who make you remember who you are, because you are capable of that. You can also enhance your self-image through something like mirror talk. Now, mirror talk is basically talking to yourself in the mirror and discussing your insecurities with yourself and discussing your strengths with yourself. Always remember, always focus on your strength. It helps with your evidence. Evidence is essential, okay? Always focus on your strength, especially when you are just starting out with this. Focus on your strengths. When you focus on your strengths, when you go back to the things you're good at, it builds evidence that you are capable of becoming better. And it enhances your dopamine. It just enhances your confidence in yourself. So do that. Now that you have a powerful self-belief and self-concept, you will be able to radiate that in conversations. See, when we are communicating with someone, they can often tell how we see ourselves. I often tell people that if we're not confident in ourselves, if we don't have belief in ourselves, that means we're not actually enjoying time with ourselves either. We don't enjoy time with ourselves, who will? When you start enjoying your self-time, elevating yourself as a human being, you go to that next level of communication. The final step to confident communication is learning. See, learning is the most essential aspect of any kind of skill we're developing. You don't stop learning just because you stop going to school or stop going to university. I didn't go to university. I realized that I was not going to let that stall me. There was so much education around me. EdTech companies are booming. There's courses, there's YouTube videos, there's books. There's so much knowledge. But the reason why learning is not only important for confident communication is not just because it can help you enhance and learn about communication itself, right? That, for example, I recently learned that nonverbal communication is a huge part of the way we're communicating. I was already using so many concepts that I didn't know, but now I can use those concepts deliberately. For example, eye contact enhances trust. However, there's some people who are just typically not comfortable with eye contact. So if you notice that you're having eye contact with someone and they look away, best to look away too. Same with mirroring techniques. When you talk to people the way they're talking to you, that enhances their comfort in conversation and can impact the way you are communicating. But the only way I learn about all of these things, right? The only way I can apply all of these things is by the learning I'm applying every single day. I need to learn. Even if I feel like I'm a confident communicator already, every day is a day of learning. Every day is a day to get better on who I am, become a better version of myself. So why stop learning? Also, the way learning helps you is that when you're in a circle of people that you don't necessarily know, it helps you bring out more topics of conversation. It can also make you feel more confident when they are discussing something that you have slightly read about. You might not know a lot about it, but that learning will help. Learning is also about research. We live in a digital world. We have all the information around us. If you are going to a business meeting, make sure you actually read about the person, read journals or books if they have them, or stalk them on social media. Learn about the things that make them happy, because building that basis of like, we can relate, that relatability, that's essential. But you will never get that unless you start learning, about yourself, about the people around you, about the world. Be a constant learner, be a learner of the world, and watch how that changes the way you communicate. Because when you have more learning, you want to share that learning, and it's exciting. So that's another way that helps you. Now these 3 steps, right? Developing a strong self-belief, developing a positive self-concept, and always learning will absolutely give you a more confident communication skill. The best part, it can be easily applied to basically any skill to absolutely change your life. So go on. Why are you waiting here? This is your moment. Go shine. Go become the best version of yourself. Go become confident. Go believe in yourself. Someone's been waiting for that belief. You. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Miss Annie. You have indeed taught our students the ability to communicate with confidence and make hard work, perseverance as the foundation of good life. So coming to an end, I would also like to thank our respected principal, Madam Ms. Ruma Pathak, who has curated this platform called TEDx MM Public SchoolWomen, where people can share their experience and influence our young learners to learn from their hard-earned success. We expect that such initiatives will continue to benefit the budding scholars of our institution. Thank you so much.